just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. Matt, Jack, and Brian along for this one. Uninterrupted sports conversation. The elephant in the room. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I know you're watching this a day late, but nonetheless, happy Father's Day to everybody. Stay tuned for a special edition of 4 in 400 Father's Day special. We'll get into that at the end. But Mike of the Week, all the cards in this one. NHL, NBA finals are going on. Pretty beat series, but we'll get into that in a minute. Bunch of other stuff that we're going to go over. Brian, in the blue claws or blue crabs? I don't know what it is.
Blue crabs.
But let's hear your Mike of the Week, dude.
Yeah, so I am wearing the Blue Crabs hat, but I'm going to talk about my Mets for the Michael of the Week. They're 5-0 since that big, fat, purple McDonald's mascot threw out the first pitch 5 nights ago. I don't know why, I don't know how, but the New York Mets are hot. They are 2 games back in the mosh pit of mediocrity that is the NL wildcard race. We're alive, and it's all because Grimace threw out the first pitch. The Grimace that had the shakes last year that were killing everyone on TikTok killed all the demons in the Mets clubhouse, in the Mets bats, and we're back.
I was going to say, wasn't that over? Like, I didn't even know Grimace was still a thing.
Apparently, it was his birthday, so that's why he threw out the first pitch at Citi Field. And since his birthday, they haven't lost.
And of all teams, the Mets have the character throw out the first pitch.
Yep.
2 games back in the wild card. That is the shit show. I mean, it's a long season, Brian. You think this Grimace little gusto that you're getting from him is going to carry you throughout the next 100 games or what?
Well, like you said, it is a long season. And I saw a tweet that said Mets fans are so miserable they have to go to guys like Grimace to explain why the team's doing well. But I think the real explanation for this hot streak is the return of Francisco Alvarez. The pitching has been insanely better since he's been back behind the plate. So that's the main. They're 15-9 with him healthy this season. So I think that's the real reason. But for now, we're gonna say it's Grimace. We're gonna go with the Grimace Juju.
But you shouldn't be that all in, right? Because it's a transition year for the Mets.
It is, but hey, in the mosh pit of mediocrity, if they can make the playoffs, we've seen it with the Diamondbacks, we've seen it with the Phillies 2 years ago. If you get in, you can make a run.
It's all about getting hot at the time. But what are they, 25-35 on the season?
They're 33-37 now. But 15-9 with Francisco Alvarez healthy. So that's the number I'm looking at.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a Michael pulling Grimace being the reason for your team's success and a 5-0 start since then. So good for Grimace. Good for you, Brian. Good pull.
Yeah, if the Grimace Mets can get to 500 by July, I'll be all in again.
All right. Well, I'd love to see you get all in and get torn down again. But I'm gonna go into my Michael of the Week. We're recording this on a Sunday night. I don't know if you two are aware, but the UFL, the United Football League Championship, is on right now. First of all, why I thought that was surprising, I didn't see any hype about it. Nothing on social media or people talking about it on ESPN. Like, I did not see enough coverage for the fact that the UFL was having their championship game tonight. And on top of that, you know who was in the booth?
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Mr. Tom Brady. Mr. Tom Brady making his first appearance in the booth as officially retired. It's going to be a future Hall of Famer, but he did it with the UFL, and I thought that was pretty shocking. Maybe he's just getting some test runs in. It's his preseason before the NFL coming up.
Yeah, get him some reps in a game no one's really watching and see how he does. But they're paying him what, $275 million? So they gotta get him for all he's worth here.
I was gonna say the game's being broadcasted on Fox, right? So just like throw Tom Brady in there for some preseason reps. We already got him locked up to an almost $300 million deal. So he's under contract. Get him on whatever they got to get him on, right?
Yeah.
It's Birmingham, and who are they playing? I don't even know who they're playing.
I think it's
San Antonio.
Yeah, the Brahmas, whatever that mascot is.
Yeah, that was the team with Kiki Kute, right? I think that was the team with.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. I am sure about this. think Wade Phillips is the head coach.
Yep, yeah, and they had the destroying guy, the YouTube star that ended up getting hurt.
Yeah.
Right. So destroying isn't playing right now, but either way, Wade Phillips, head coach, bad to win a title. Or I don't know. I don't even know what the score is right now, but
Yeah,
no one really cares about that, right?
Birmingham's up 22-0, so Wade Phillips may not win a title.
He's probably not going to win one. But kind of, I guess, bouncing off Jack's Mike of the Week into my Mike of the Week, I did see the UFL. I guess you said, like, it wasn't promoted. And the way I saw it promoted was when I was just, scrolling through the channels Saturday night, watching baseball on Fox Sports. And my Mike of the Week is going to be, I was just shocked, surprised, and honestly, like, what the hell's going on? Why were the White Sox on national television on Saturday night? That's what I didn't understand. They have 19 wins, probably the worst team in baseball. The Athletics might be a better team than them. I don't know. It's a debate between the Athletics and the White Sox, but the Chicago White Sox on national television on Saturday night primetime game, that just shocked me a lot. And I understand they have the preset schedule, but like maybe a preset schedule in the first week of the season. It's June. You can't flex out to a better game.
Yeah, the only thing there, maybe Tommy Pham had something on someone in the Fox offices and they were too scared. He would
Isn't he hurt?
Start throwing hands. He just came back.
Oh, he did.
But yeah, that can't be happening.
34 games under 500 on national television Saturday night, prime time slot. I was like, what the hell is going on?
No, it's understandable, especially after reading out that record and being 34 games back. I mean, yeah, it's like putting the Patriots, last year's Patriots, on primetime television. Who the fuck wants to watch that? They can't move. They have 200 total yards of offense a game. Nobody wants to watch that shit.
And you're putting them on the Patriots on in like week 14.
Yeah.
Like this is, we're in June. You could have easily flexed that game out. So thought it was wild they had the White Sox. Like, and I understand, they do like the Tuesday national broadcast. Okay, yeah. This is Saturday night.
Yeah, that is wild. If you said Apple TV, I wouldn't put it past them, but yeah. The
It's on
Fox
Fox.
Saturday is supposed to be like a big game.
Right. I think what's his name? Joe Davis or whatever. I think he was on the call.
Yeah, the Dodgers guy. That's crazy. And
that was pretty wild.
They played the Diamondbacks this week, so it's an interleague, not even a big series.
And the Diamondbacks are just what? They're right around 500.
Yeah.
Thought it was pretty wild. Would have been worse if the White Sox were home, but I guess they're on the road in Arizona, so whatever. But thought that was pretty wild. Either way, Mike of the Week, as always, presented by Views from Section 400. We always got some good stuff, and yeah, shocking Mikes of the Week this week. But obviously on Father's Day, the U.S. Open concludes. And we just had that, and today we're recording right as it ended. Bryson DeChambeau is your 2024 U.S. Open champion. Finally gets it done on the big stage. I know he's a two-time winner of the U.S. Open, but he's been trying to get back to winning a major. Finally gets it done. Brian, Jack, want to hear your guys' reactions. What do you guys think of the tournament? I don't think our bets did that well, but Bryson gets it done.
I just want to say I did predict one thing correctly that I would like credit for. I did say Rory was going to choke it, and by definition, fuck, did he choke that shit. So I'm happy that turned out to be correct. But the other thing I wanted to say was kind of ragged on Bryson earlier in the week, saying that I didn't really particularly like him. I like the way that he celebrated after making that last putt. Just a ton of passion and just excitement and dapping up everybody, hugging them. Got to give him credit. I didn't see his wife, though. He got a wife?
I'm not sure. He might be single.
That would surprise me. He doesn't act like a married.
No, yeah, I mean, he does not.
He like dapped up like a whole bunch of dudes, like his caddy, like his team, like they were jumping up and down together. But like it probably wasn't until he like dapped up 20 dudes that he like went over to like this one chick and gave her like a kiss on the cheek and a hug, and it was like a very, very mild thing. You know what I mean? They shouldn't see that important.
Maybe
Could
it's
have
a
been a girlfriend.
girlfriend side piece.
Girl he met in the second round. That's been following around the next couple.
Could be.
The cart girl from last weekend.
Honestly, that's a great pull right there. Definitely could be that. But yeah, no, I mean, kind of what you said earlier. Rory absolutely choked it right there at the end. I saw some stat on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and I forget the final number. I think it was 469 for 469 on putts under 3 feet,
Yeah, yeah. It
and
might
he
have been,
missed that putt.
yeah, this season he hadn't missed a putt under 3 feet, and this is the second U.S. Open in a row he's lost by 1 stroke.
And it wasn't even to win it. This was just, to force the playoff. Couldn't get it done. And Bryson had to get out of some trouble there, right? That one weird shot in the rough with the tree behind him, hit it into the bunker. Obviously an incredible bunker shot, but it wasn't like Bryson, put it right on the green from the start. I mean, he had some work to do. Rory obviously helped him out by missing it and didn't have to go to the playoff. I kind of wanted to see the playoff, even though I was rooting for Bryson, but I'm always rooting for the playoff in golf.
Yeah, I mean, if that putt goes in from Rory, I know obviously the pressure's insane for Bryson, but like that pressure's even more notched up that he really can't afford to mess up any of his shots when he kind of had that in the back of his mind, like, hey, I'm fuck up one, at least I can go to a playoff. So
Right.
that's tough.
Either way, a U.S. golfer wins the U.S. Open. That's the bottom line. That's what we want to see. And the USA chance, while Rory was putting, while Bryson wrapped it up, I don't know. Some people probably won't like it because of, golf's supposed to be classy, show some respect. Where's the elegance? I thought it was funny just because Rory was pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, so last year we had a live golfer, Brooks Koepka, win the PGA championship. And now you have the USGA's big event, the US Open. We got another live golfer win it. So that's another little storyline here that I'm sure the PGA is not happy with at all.
No, probably not at all. But we're supposed to see them merge. Hopefully they do, because I want to watch these guys every weekend, right? Especially Bryson, Brooks, like you said, but all the other guys that compete on the Live Golf Tour, they're great golfers. They were on the PGA, obviously split up for the money. Can't blame them. But let's get them all back on the same playing field for full golf season, and I think it'll just be way better for the fans.
Yeah, and also, Jack, you said you thought Brooks would make the cut, and we kind of laughed and said he's going to make the cut easily. He made it by 1 stroke, so I don't know what kind of crystal ball you were looking through, but he barely squeaked by.
I can't remember if it was him or not, but somebody had to hit like a hole in one to make the cut, and they did.
Yeah, it was I forget what his name was. It was some like, I think it was from Spain, but it wasn't.
Did you guys see that shot? Did you guys see that shot though? I mean,
that was his name Malindari or some shit?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
talk
that.
About a fucking Hail Mary, dude. You need a hole in one just to make to the next cut, and you're like, well, here we go. And then sure as shit, you sink it. I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts.
There's a lot of money on that shot, and that guy came through.
Yep.
But congrats to Bryson. Wins the U.S. Open. But for me, I know it probably doesn't mean much, but U.S. national citizen, whatever you want to say, wins the U.S. Open. Love to see that. Don't want to see an international guy win the U.S. Open, right? But yeah, U.S. Open nonetheless.
Yeah, last thing before we move on here. Neil Shipley won the best score for an amateur. He's a fraud. War Eagle, you lost. Smell you later.
Why? Where's he from?
He was on the Ohio State team that lost to Auburn in the semis.
Okay, I was going to say why. I thought you were doing like an Auburn plug right there at the end of the segment.
Yeah, no, he lost.
Brian, I'm pretty sure his cousin is a girl I went to high school with. So I can't rag on him, but I'll give you a War Eagle.
All right, I'll take it.
Unreal. But yeah, U.S. Open, great tournament. Can't wait for the rest of the summer and the golf that entails with that. But let's roll on. Honestly, the U.S. Open is way bigger than this series, and that's the NBA Finals. The Mavs blow out the Celtics, I think they won by 30 plus to get
Yeah,
it to a
28.
3-1 series. I mean, I'm still not convinced the Mavs are coming back as much as I want them to. It's tough.
It just kind of looks exactly like what Dallas did to Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. You go up 3-0, you don't want to lose game 4, but at the same time you lose, you don't fucking care. I mean, they still had to come back and do it 3 more times for you to lose the series. It's over.
Yeah, you want to
On
win
the
it
road,
in
too,
Boston.
next.
You want to win it at home. Kyrie and Luka didn't even play that well. Like Derek Lively was the best player on the court in Game 4.
Is Kristaps back for the next game?
I think it said he's going to be available, but his injury, I still don't understand what it is.
Is that just like, hey, he's available, trying to keep the Mavs off guard?
It's got to be.
I'm not sure why it would. I mean, they're up 3-1. I don't know how much more off guard they need to be. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't really look like they even have a defensive game plan in there in the first place. So I don't know how much it would change with Kristaps or without Kristaps. But
yeah, honestly, like if you're Kristaps, if you're a Boston fan, if you're a Celtics player, like you just want a few good minutes out of him, maybe. I mean, in a game that you're trying to wrap it up at home, like you guys said, Game 5, call it a day at home. Pour down the confetti, draw the banner, all that good shit. Yeah, I mean, Kristaps gives them 10 minutes. I'm sure they'd be happy with 10 good minutes from Kristaps.
and it's maybe the final game of the season, maybe not, but Kristaps has all summer to rest. So get him out there, wrap the series up. I would think he's going to play if he's, somewhat healthy. It's that time of the year where you got to kind of suck it up. Everybody's bruised up, banged up, long season. Do what you got to do to win it, right?
yeah, I mean, I will say if the Mavericks can somehow scratch out a win, it's only a 6.5 point spread, which seems a little low to me. But they can somehow scratch out a win. They're at home for Game 6, and then you never know. So I'm not going to count them out yet, but every one of these games is just a blowout. It's like yeah, it's bad.
You've been saying that all playoffs, right, Brian? Every game in the series of all playoffs has, they might have been tight series, but blowouts.
Yeah, Brian's been saying that since the first round.
I have thoroughly not enjoyed these NBA playoffs.
And I did see some on, again, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. They were saying how the 2019 playoffs was like the most electric playoffs that we've seen in the last couple of years or 5-6 years or whatever. I mean, we haven't seen crazy stuff. I know you have the 2020 COVID year, which can't talk about that, but
there were some good moments in those playoffs. Like the Luka step back game winner was
in what, 2019 or the COVID year?
In the COVID year. 2019 was a great year, but there were moments in the COVID year.
Well, not for the Sixers, but again, we'll leave that alone.
Man, there ain't nothing like that 2016 playoffs, man. That 2016 finals.
Yeah, of course, that was nuts.
I dream about that shit at night.
Yeah, but NBA Finals, obviously, we'll see what happens. But I guess last thing, again, nobody cares, but just to plug some NBA content here right at the end of the segment, did see LeBron James picture surface in Philadelphia having a meeting with the Sixers owners and Nick Nurse in one of those high-rise, expensive restaurants. Not sure what it means, not sure what it is. I think our writer, Zach Myers, said he wanted to see LeBron in a 76ers uniform. That picture surfaced right after. LeBron to the Sixers? I don't know that I love it. I don't know that I hate it. I guess I'll just see how it plays out.
I don't see any way Bronny could survive playing in Philadelphia. Like that is not where Bronny needs to be.
No. And for his sake, I agree.
That kid, I cannot, yeah. But hey, maybe Daryl Morey is reading views from Section 400 and saw what Zach Myers had to say.
Right. Myers came out, and the next day or the day after, LeBron's in Philly having a meeting. What that meeting was about, again, LeBron obviously, is he a billionaire or approaching billionaire status, whatever you want to call it? Maybe there's some different business endeavors. Why was Nick Nurse there? We'll wait and see what happens. But On to the other finals. Again, boring series. NHL. Florida drops a game, maybe just so they can go win it back in South Florida. But headed back to South Florida, Panthers up 3-1. The Oilers blew them out, dude. I mean, that game wasn't even close.
Look, I mean, same thing as the NBA series. You drop the game 4 after going up 3-0. It's really not the end of the world. And as you guys said, let's go win it at home. So I'm sure both of these series are getting wrapped up.
Yeah, Brian doesn't have to worry about Pacific Northwest banter, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
but I'm
It ain't
between a
coming
rock
home.
and a hard place because it's either Pacific Northwest banner or I've been saying it's coming home. So either way, I'm gonna have something I like and something that I get roasted for.
So what? I guess a fun question to kind of end NBA, NHL here is we both know, or all three of us know, probably no team's going to come back, but what team that's down has a better shot to come back, tie the series, and win the series?
The Mavericks.
The Oilers. It's happened in
Jack,
hockey before.
Jack, why the Mavericks? And then Brian, you go in on why you think the Oilers.
This is really just more of a Panthers play, not a Mavericks or Celtics play. The Panthers are locking it down this next game. Simple as that. The Mavericks, I really don't think that they're going to do it either. I know we just said that, but I'd give them a better shot than the Oilers.
It's happened in hockey before. Connor McDavid's the best player on the ice. And I know Luka's probably the best player on the court. But I think the whole teams are more even in the hockey series than they are in the NBA series. So for that reason, I'll go with McDavid and Edmonton.
Right. It's 5-on-5 for both respective sports, but 4 shifts on the ice to, 5 guys on the court with a couple guys getting rotated in. So I would think I tend to agree with maybe the Oilers come back just because of, like you said, more can happen. But again, prefaced it with probably not going to see a comeback. But again, we'll wait and see as the next games roll on in the next couple days. But yeah, that's the NHL and the NBA finals. Not much to talk about, obviously, as both series have been relatively boring. But Brian, you got a little MLB Mets talk here for us, or what do you got?
All I have is Mookie Betts fractured his hand. So just when I was going to make fun of you for the Phillies dropping 2 or 3 to the Orioles, they're still looking like they might capture a 1 seed because Dodgers just lost their best player.
Yeah. Wait, Ohtani's not the best player on that team?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Ohtani. Second best player.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, Mookie Betts obviously great player, unbelievable player, MVP caliber player. So tough to see him fracture the hand. Not done for the year, though. I mean, when's he going to be back? Do we have an update on that?
No, but I mean, fractured hands can be tricky. Like Josh Young fractured his hand early on, and he still hasn't come back for the Rangers. And
Is it his throwing hand?
I think it said right
I'm not
hand.
sure.
So yeah, but either way, like if it's your glove hand, you still you can't really catch a ball if you fractured your hand.
It'd be worse to swing a bat than catch a ball for sure.
That's true. Yeah, either way, I think it's going to be a long timetable.
Couple months.
But we still have a couple months left in the season. So obviously baseball kicks off really after the All-Star break. End of July is when it really starts heating up. So that's when you want to be healthy. That's when you want to get hot. I know you plug the Phillies in there real quick. They did drop 2 or 3 of the Orioles. Rough series against Boston as well. They don't do well in these long distance road trips, man. I mean, they go to London, they come back, they win the game 1 in Boston, thinking like, all right, everything's going to be good. It's been a little bit rough for them ever since. I hope they just get reacclimated and turn things around. They have a huge lead in the NL East, and the Braves have their own issues. So not worried, but definitely not great to see them come back and drop 2 series in a row after pretty much winning every series to start the year up until this point.
Well, hopefully we get some kind of good division race going. I know I'm high on the Mets right now, but they still have a lot of work to do to even get into that conversation. But without football in the summer and with these NHL and NBA series ending. We need some kind of good race going on for baseball.
And we might get it. Just real quick on the Phillies as well. JT Realmuto, catcher, meniscus surgery. Not sure how long he's going to be out for, but after dropping the 2 series coming back from London, not great to see your star catcher go down. He's really, kind of the quarterback of the defense, calling the signs out there. So not worried, but definitely not great coming back from London, all this stuff unfolding. But we'll see. Just getting back to South Philly. Feels like it's been 3 months since they played a game at home. But let's get them back, get the fans back involved. Fans kind of took over Baltimore, and Baltimore's a good team, but obviously didn't get it done. But see what happens, man. That's the MLB. You guys got anything else in the MLB you want to touch on before we jump over to, some NFL stuff?
Well, you mentioned the White Sox. Everyone on Twitter or on your MLB app, go vote for Martin Maldonado to make the All-Star game. I think he's hitting 070 on the year, but let's get him in.
I was going to say, do they have anybody who could potentially make the All-Star game? I wouldn't say him. I would say Garrett Crochet.
Yeah, he'll make it as their representative, but I would love to see him get in because the MLB voting system is so flawed that let's get him in, people.
Hey, you can vote 10 times a day, vote and send anyone into the All-Star game.
Let's get a catcher hitting 070 into the game.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Let's get Brian Houck into the All-Star game.
Hey, you can write in.
I was going to say, can we do write-ins?
Yeah.
Let's get Brian out there pitching in the first inning. In the Blue Claws hat as well. Would be great. NFL talk, Brian. I know you had some stuff on that. So let's hear what you got in the National Football League. Still a couple months away. But
yeah, Aaron Rodgers is missing. He is nowhere to be found. Bob Salah has no idea where he is. He has not shown up to mandatory minicamp. He's not there.
What do you mean he's missing?
They don't know where he is.
That's not true.
But Bob Salah went up there and said, I do not know where Aaron Rodgers is. He is not here. I don't want it to be a distraction. Seems like a pretty big distraction considering he had to do a press conference about it.
Is this Trey Mason 2.0?
He might have taken too much ayahuasca and ended up in his grandma's basement.
Oh my gosh.
Trey Mason 2.0 and Luis Rojas not knowing where Carlos Carrasco was on his injury turn. So we've seen this before in sports across different leagues. So not unfamiliar with it, but again, these guys, where is he? I don't know. I didn't even see this report. I'm surprised it hasn't surfaced yet. Maybe it has and I just haven't seen it, but I guess Aaron Rodgers nowhere to be found.
I saw that he wasn't at like the camp or whatever, but I thought I saw a quote from Salah saying he's good. We're on the same page. He doesn't need to be here right now.
Well, he said that, and then he also said, I don't know where he is.
Salah could have just been trying to, keep it PR friendly that there wasn't trouble in paradise. Not that, playing for the Jets is paradise, but
what if he did know where Aaron Rodgers was, but he just couldn't tell him? What if it's on another ayahuasca retreat or the fucking strip club or something like that?
Went down to Magic City to get some lemon pepper wings. There are rumors that RFK is on the campaign trail and he might just be with him. So that could be what it is.
Maybe he's working on his political career as we have the presidential election coming up here in November.
But at the same time, he's got the season coming up in September. So you think his priorities would be the Jets are like one of the favorites, at least odds, to win the Super Bowl this year. They're getting a lot of bets, and their quarterback is nowhere to be found.
Unbelievable. I gotta look into that story.
I don't know what their odds are to win a Super Bowl, but this is Aaron Rodgers' last year on his. Didn't he only sign like a 2-year deal?
It might have been.
I thought it was 3.
Yeah, I think it was 2 with a player option.
Okay.
Which he'll probably opt into because I think he gets a boatload of money if he does. So, wild news coming out of New York, and for the first time in a while, no Giants slander. So, I guess that's good for you, Brian. I don't know.
I guess.
Can always find a way to sneak some in if we really want to.
I mean, Hard Knocks is a couple months away, so I'm already sure after the first episode of that airs, you guys will have all the ammo you need.
Of course. Which is wild they picked the Giants for Hard Knocks.
Probably the only team that said yes.
Wild, wild, wild. But a couple months away, we're a huge NFL show. Can't wait to dive in to the stories and obviously the season when it rolls around. But why don't we jump into our Father's Day special of the 4 and 400, the draft that we do every show? Huge segment, huge addition to our show. A lot of good feedback, good or bad. I take it as good because people always have something to say. Yeah, the best dads ever, the most iconic dads ever. My list, I'm trying to keep it sports related. I know every dad is on the table. So let's get right into it. Yeah, Brian, you have the first pick in this edition. You're on the clock.
Yeah, the fact fiction's on the board made this one real easy for me, but I'm going to take everyone's TV dad from the 90s and early 2000s, Mr. Danny Tanner of Full House.
That's a big one right there.
It doesn't get much more dad than that. Since we are a sports show, I wrote down some sports dads, and I'm really shocked that you didn't take this guy at the 101, considering he gave you your only source of happiness in the last 20 years outside of Rose. I'm gonna take Archie Manning for giving us both Peyton and Eli Manning. Your beloved Eli Manning.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That was on my list. I thought Brian would have taken that one. Maybe not first overall. Didn't think you would have that one in your wheelhouse either, but thought that would be a sleeper. But good pick there. Yeah, I guess I'll go sports related towards the end, but I'm going to take an iconic dad in the movie scene. Just one that at least I've watched with my father. One of my dad's favorite movies, one of my favorite movies growing up. Again, watching it with my dad and my family. And that's going to be Griswold from National Lampoon's.
That's a good one.
Entire series that they have. Keeping it specific, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Griswold. I mean, that guy's just unreal. So I'll take Griswold with my dad right there.
That's a deep pick there. You get a lot of movies there, a lot of dad time. That's going to bring a lot of depth to your team.
Great pick.
For sure. But I guess I have the wraparound here, right?
Yeah, you do.
You do.
So with my wraparound pick, I wanted to go with kind of a funny one. I don't want to say an iconic dad, maybe a controversial dad, but ridiculous nonetheless. And it's going to be LeVar Ball.
That's a good one. I had him. Yeah. You had to.
Gotta go with LeVar Ball. I mean, dude, 3 basketball players who have played in the NBA. You can say LiAngelo's Mickey Mouse, which kind of is, but nobody knows where Lonzo is, and LaMelo's balling out in Charlotte. So give me LeVar Ball, who thinks he can beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one.
Man started a brand around his 3 kids, the Big Baller brand.
Yeah, no, that's a good pull. I actually did not have him on my list, but that's a phenomenal play. You guys went with 2 movie dads, or I guess TV show and movie dads. So I'm gonna take one here too, just so I don't get left out. I'm gonna take Liam Neeson from Taken.
That's a good one.
His name is Brian. I don't know if he spells with an I or a Y, but yeah, give me Liam Neeson.
How many of those movies are there? He had to save his daughter a lot of times.
3.
Yeah,
I think
3, right?
Maybe there's a 4th at this point. Fuck if I know.
Right. I think there's at least 3, but good dad right there. Hey.
Also had a cameo in Ted 2, I believe.
Yeah, he did. Good point. Yeah, he went across the world to go save his daughter. Doesn't get you don't find dads better than that.
I guess I have 2 picks here. So with my first one, I'll go, Jack. I thought you were going to do this when you mentioned my source of happiness. I'm going to take Tom Brady's father, Eli Manning. And for my second pick, I'm going to go with, it depends what kind of advanced metrics you look at here. But in terms of just like becoming a father, there's no one better than this guy, Genghis Khan.
Ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I think there's only one way to follow that one up. I'm going with Adrian Peterson.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous. On Father's Day.
Unreal.
Fuck, we're really going off the deep end here, but it's Father's
What,
Day.
are you taking Tyreek next round?
He might have been. Don't take names off the board here, Brian. But what? I guess I have my wraparound here for my final two picks.
Yep.
So for one, RIP, but I'm gonna go with Dale Earnhardt. You know, died in the Daytona 500, and then obviously his son was an electric NASCAR legend. Obviously, the father was better, but RIP to Dale Earnhardt, an electric dad. I'll go with him. And then the final one here, I'm going to go with Ken Griffey Sr. He's just played with his son in baseball, was a great player, obviously. Put his kid out there to play in the MLB, the kid that we all know as a nickname. Everybody wanted to be him, like him. So I'll go with Griffey Sr. as my final pick.
With my final pick, I'm gonna go with my dad.
Boo!
Yeah, I know it sounds corny and shit, but my dad's an athlete. That man is in the Wall Street Softball Hall of Fame. Okay, he is in a softball Hall of Fame, Wall Street in New York. Big deal. All right, he's been playing for God. I don't know. He's like 63 or 64 now. He's still playing softball. He's still in like 2 or 3 leagues ever at any given time. So yeah, he's a damn good player. So gotta give a shout out to him for being an athlete.
Respect, right? I had my own father on the list. I was maybe
Yeah,
going to do it.
I think we need another pick there. I'll put your dad on there, but I'm gonna say your pick's revoked and you get a 5th pick.
I was
Okay.
maybe going to do that for my 4th, but I wanted to keep it to everybody on the table.
Yeah, I think we're revoking it for sympathy reasons.
Fair enough. Okay. You know what, Brian? Since you want to be the rules master here, you want me to give you a fictional or a non-fictional person for my 4th pick.
Well, I have 2 fictional ones, so go with non-fictional.
All right. Give me Tiger Woods because he's raising the next great golfer in Charlie, and it's awesome to see them on the course together.
All right. I'm gonna go with Marlin, Nemo's dad.
That was going to be my fictional character.
It's a good one. Hey, great dad went on a wild goose chase to save his son and saved him. So shout out to Marlin.
Matt, I think you won this. You won this list.
Yeah,
Genghis Khan and Adrian Peterson might have tanked Jack and I's draft.
we might have tanked that ourselves, Brian.
But that's the point of it, right? We have fun with it. We don't know what our picks are going to be between each other. We do, a little bit of research before the show and then come out with it. And look, it's a fun episode. It's Father's Day. We're doing a Father's Day special. All the dads are on the table. Fictional, non-fictional, sports-related, non-sports related, whatever you want to say. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And this was a fun one. So definitely vote on who you think had the best list. And leave some comments below if some big haymakers out of our list. Obviously, with only 3 guys picking, only 12 picks are on the board. So always going to be some snubs, some people left out, teams, whatever our topic is. But nonetheless, good stuff there for the 4 and 400.
Adrian Peterson.
It's unreal. Jack, did you have Tyreek Hill loaded up as well?
No, just AP. And I also was gonna text you guys that earlier when Brian was like talking about the 4 and 400, saying it was gonna be about like all the dads and stuff. So I'm like, I was gonna text you guys Adrian Peterson on the table, but I was like, I'm saving that for the live reactions.
Definitely needed the live reaction for that one. But
Oh God.
Ford 400, vote in the polls on Twitter/X, vote on Instagram. Let us know who won. And let us know in the comments what you thought, who won. Obviously, whatever comment you want to leave, because we always love to see it and react to it. So definitely do that. And 4 and 400. We'll have a more normal one, I guess, next time. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I think that wraps it up here for us in section 400. I'm Matt, Jack, and Brian. Always along for the ride for some uninterrupted sports conversation. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I'm still peeling from my honeymoon. Still sunburned.
Dads, do the right thing. Raise your kids to love sports.
About you, I can tell you up.